After watching the documentary on Grace Lee Boggs, I was completely amazed by the change just one person can make. Grace Lee Boggs was not just any ordinary leader, she was a revolutionary leader. I think the way her life unfolded had a lot to do with the type of issues that she was really interested in.
Here's a young Asian American just trying to get by in life when, even after she had received a PhD, could not find work because every department said they didn't hire Orientals. So with the little money she had, she rents a room from someone. At first, I'm sure she was excited to find a room that she could afford, until she finds out that in order to get into her room, she needs to get across a barricade of rats.
There was a group protesting to end the problem of rat-infested housing, which was strongly affecting the African American community. That's how her journey of being involved with the African American community really started. After which, she decided to move to Detroit because that's where things were happening, and that's where she could make a difference.
If you mobilize a mass action, you can change the world. Those are exact words from Grace Lee Boggs' mouth, and that's exactly how she spent her life.
She did whatever she could to get herself and the community involved in solving issues, which is how Grace Lee Boggs got herself extremely involved in the Black Power movement. She spoke publicly about the Black Power movement. She helped organize protests and marches. I think one of the best things about this woman was that she wasn't afraid of failure or change.
You have to change yourself in order to change the world.
She would look at herself and express her ideas, but she also listened to all the people around her and heard what they had to say. Although she seemed to be quite stubborn, she never hesitated to change herself when she saw she was in the wrong. That's the kind of leaders that are needed in the world. People who aren't afraid to see that they are not necessarily wrong, but that someone else is more right than them.
Grace Lee Boggs also had another great leadership quality. She wasn't afraid of adapting to the new. She realized how hard it is to become part of the new without being stuck in the old.
The fact that she knew that is probably why she never seemed to suffer from founder syndrome. She knew that other people sometimes had new and exciting ideas. She listened to all the people around her. Grace definitely was someone who truly appreciated conversation and what could come from it. Honestly, I think someone could go on for days about all the amazing qualities that this woman possessed. She was the exact type of leader that this course is teaching us to be. After watching the documentary of Grace Lee Boggs, I can definitely say that she is someone I look up to and inspire to be. She never seemed to talk without a purpose, and each time she spoke in the film, I took a new lesson from it.
She said, "You can't choose where you're from, but you do choose how you want to be, and you do choose how you want to see it."
That's something that spoke to me on so many levels, and it's something that everyone should understand. It doesn't matter where you're from or what your past was. You can be whatever you wish to be. I mean, she was an Asian American who spent a majority of her life fighting for African Americans. I think it's amazing that she was able to help a race that she wasn't born, but by the end of her life, everyone just associated her with that race. I just wish I could have known about this woman sooner and met her.